Hi, Great Debate League. My name's Ebony Johnson. Again, I'm here with the other GDL commissioners. This is the post-debate analysis for GDL 23 on charter schools. And I'll let my other colleagues introduce themselves. They were behind the scenes doing other administrative work tonight.
Bruce Strobel.
Professor AJ.
What's up, Michelle?
So we put in our their scorecards that we're still, if you still haven't filled yours out yet, feel free to still send it while we're talking here and we will be able to add your score. Other than we were a bit rusty. We admit we had some tech issues going on, but we were also glad that we were able to come back and have a full debate tonight. What did you all think of the performance from each debater?
Okay, I'll go first. So, it's always nice for the debate. You get all right into it. I thought, and is her name Katina?
Yes, Katina.
I thought Katina came out the gate strong. I thought she did very well in her presentation. Throughout, she seemed very confident. She was able to, kind of speak on some of the issue without, it didn't look rehearsed to me. It looked like she actually looked into it.
I will say Katina has been an educator for I don't know how long. So she's very much into the educational system in school, right, teaching. And so she has a lot of firsthand knowledge.
Right. Yeah. Now, as my opinion for Drew, I don't want to say that he didn't, have any information, but I don't think his presentation was as good as it could have been. I kind of felt like he fell short a few times, more trying to have conversation with her rather than, essentially moving forward to debate and make his, foundational pieces so he could prove his argument. I felt like he kind of fell short with that. So as far as I was concerned, I felt that he was a little more on the less strong aspect of things. I don't think he completely missed all the marks, but, I think that there were some gaps there.
Yeah, I thought both debaters did pretty decent. I agree that Drew started off stumbling around, particularly with his opening statement. He didn't seem as prepared or didn't have his argument formulated. He did better in the lightning round, I thought, in kind of straightening out what his actual argument was and trying to pull Katina into the parameters of the debate as he wanted. There seemed to be some disagreement about what they actually meant and were they comparing it to public schools. But then when you looked at the premise, I thought Drew was actually right there, that this was saying that it was a better option, period, to have choice or charter schools. And even I found a couple of times where Katina actually kind of conceded to that without realizing she was conceding and saying that the charter schools are or charter. She said like a Marcus Garvey school, for example, would be a better option if we were doing.
And that's what Drew said.
Yeah. So I thought that was a good point. But then again, when you got to the closing statement, I thought that's where Katina specified that although those would be better choices, as it exists right now, that's not what's happening. And there was contention also about whose set of facts was actually correct. Do the charter and choice schools actually have better outcomes? And I don't think we got that answer clearly tonight. Mm-hmm. So, I thought the negative one, because when you don't get the answer clearer, that means it goes to the negative. So because of that, I gave it to Katina in a slight margin where Drew did not prove his case.
What about when Drew he did give some statistics and percentages of what, of how people are doing in schools. Even somebody asked about a diversity question too, and he gave some percentages of the diversity levels are better in charter schools, even though Katina has some different information, but
he didn't spell that is better for the education of Black children. He said there's more diversity, but he didn't say because of this diversity, they're going to go further in life. They're going to have these outcomes. I never heard that from him. So without that, he can't win the debate. And Katina didn't have to do more because she took the negative position. All she had to do was poke little holes in his argument, and she was able to do that, and he wasn't able to patch them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, sorry, AJ, you were going to say something?
Oh, no, I was just going to, I agree. I think that Drew, it seemed like Drew came out with gloves on. And it seemed like he was pulling his punches in the beginning. And I think, like you said, Bruce, Katina left herself open a couple of times, but he didn't capitalize. And I think that this is just might be a learning lesson for him. One of the things one of the pretty much one thing that is like will dictate how the debate will always go for me is opening statement. And I can tell if an opening statement has already been prepared or somebody's trying to do it off the fly. And trying to do it off the fly is usually showing that you might not be prepared for the rest of the debate. And I think that Drew, he didn't seem as prepared as I would like him, as what I would have wished him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that the next time he shows up, he will be.
I think he had his information. It's a difference in having, and I'm just making the distinction because anybody listening could what you mean by he wasn't prepared. He did have his information that he looked up, and he did have, points and data and facts that he wanted to share. I just feel as though it was the way that he congealed it all together. He probably wasn't able to do it as best as he wanted to.
Okay, so I just want to jump in and say a couple quick things. First of all, I feel like when we are assessing a debate from my perspective, and I'm looking at what the argument is, it's not just about the persuasive aspect of it alone. I think, again, I didn't personally find that he had very strong arguments. Mm-hmm. So again, like if we were in court and he was on the other side of me, mm-hmm. he would end up getting plummeted because once again, I felt like he wanted to converse with her more than he wanted to state. So like, again, you got to go in for that kill, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Katina. And then ultimately, what I kind of found with her that I found was very strong was she was more coming, in my opinion, in her perspective of, okay, you know what? The public schools may not necessarily have different outcomes than charter schools, but charter schools are not a good option. She mm-hmm. continuously made consistent rebuttals and debate on that point, which is essentially what he should have been addressing. But instead I found that, and again, I think that maybe he's learned some things about racial diversity, systemic racism. He brought it up a couple of times, mm-hmm. but it did not go to formulate what are the better outcomes for Black children. So I just want to quickly go to something that I read here, right? And it said that according to a 2019 report from the National Center of Education Statistics, charter schools are no better at improving test scores than regular public schools. And then it went on to say that research has also shown that the charter schools are more racially isolated than other schools. Now, I want to go to a point that she made. She was stating that a lot of children and Black children don't get to have Black teachers. I'm going to be very frank. My first Black teacher and probably my only Black teacher was in grade 9. That is literally it. So, she was making the point too that some mm-hmm. of forced assimilation that kind of comes through where people think, oh, if we diversify these spaces for Black kids, then they're going to do equally or even better than if they were in their own schools or if they were so segregated, is not necessarily true. And the reality is that if children are going to school and feeling that they're not seeing representation, that they don't feel confident in their spaces, the suspensions are higher for them, then how exactly can that be a better outcome, even if a few of the kids have higher test scores? What's the outcome overall for these Black children as they navigate into adulthood? Mm-hmm. That was my concern with that argument.
Yeah. Bruce, how we doing with the scores? You're muted, Bruce. Okay. AJ, do you have anything else while Bruce is getting the scores for us?
I mean, one of the things I try to do is,
there we go.
I'm looking at the argument and I have to agree with Ms. McDonald 100%. But and in regards to the debating style, like how they did in that arena, I think Drew tried to pick it up a little bit towards the back half, but it was trying to it's almost like putting a Band-Aid on a flesh wound by then. I feel like she had already cut him open. So, but again, I have to say that I think that I appreciate Drew for coming on here. That's one of the things that I have to remind people is that this arena is not easy, and he was able to get out there and really hold his own. So I have to commend him for that. Now I think the next time he joins us, he's going to be well prepared.
Okay, so Bruce, tell us what we have for the scores.
All right, so let me look over the scores really quickly. As you can see, just to jump straight to the chase, I expected, we have a unanimous decision for the negative, Katina, with all 5 votes going to her. So we could stop the card here. I mean, we'll probably stop the cards here. I don't think it kind of echoes what we were all saying, that Drew didn't make his case strong enough. He put out some points. She challenged him, and he never came back to show beyond any doubt for us or for the viewers and to the judges that, hey, even though she's making this point, I'm arguing this. And without that, I could see why we got a unanimous decision. Think how rare we get unanimous decisions here. So kudos to Katina, who this is her 3rd debate with us now. And you can see the experience starts to show up around debate 2 and 3. So I'm happy for Katina on that one. Drew, we definitely want you to come back. Thank you for being here, man.
Absolutely.
That first one's hard for everybody. I think I'm the only person who won their first debate.
No, sir. I also won my first one.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Chill out. So, and just some feedback for our debaters. Looking at your rebuttals, you can see Katina got 3 max scores there. Drew got 2 pours on his rebuttal scoring there. Looking at elocution, how you speak, you can see again Katina, and that's where I thought she was very strong. Every word matters. I always tell my debaters and my children in debates, every single word you say matters. So you have to say it like that. And Katina executed there. Drew's scores were more spread. Look here at persuasiveness. Katina's there as well, dominating. In subject matter expertise, I thought both had subject matter expertise, but again, Katina exclaimed it. She shared hers better. And then you could look at fact-based arguments, and they both kind of got the same there as well, that they use facts to support the argument. But nonetheless, when you total it up, Katina is our winner with a unanimous 100% decision. So congratulations, Katina. And think we had things go rocky tonight, but seeing the scorecards come in, I think we're back to a great start, and we got some great debates coming up in the near future. What we got? Do we know what our next debate is?
Our next debate is April the 27th. We have Jalen Jones, who, if for people who've been following us, he did a really good job, and we did a political debate with him. Yeah. And then we also have Diallo Kenyana, who has Bruce has debated him, and we've had some other debates with him. And it's on. Yeah, I have to switch screens to get to the.
Go for it. April 27th. Oh, they're debating integration as a net positive for Black economics. That's going to be an interesting debate. Jalen's now representing Stanford University, so we got Stanford in the house. Diallo representing Chicago. That's
and the last time Jalen was on here, he debated as a youngster. That's a teenager.
He debated in the youth league, and now he's up in the senior league now with the adults. So.
And he's debating
a
monster.
In high school, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's debating a monster.
So. Yeah, he's about to be a sophomore at Stanford.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting debate. I hope the people from Stanford tune in. I hope Diallo bring his crew out. I want to, if Diallo and Jalen are watching, I want Diallo to know Jalen is gonna be prepared. This won't be no walk in the park. And to Jalen, I want you to know Diallo is not to be played with. So.
He comes out with a gold microphone.
Diallo is a monster. I will say that he is master how he gets it done. So
that debate is in 2 weeks, April the 27th. It's a Thursday at 9 p.m. EST. Same way you watch tonight, you'll be able to watch that debate.
And we'll have all our kinks worked out by then.
Thank y'all for still loving us. We appreciate it anyway. Y'all all have a great night. And remember again, if you want to debate, join our Facebook group, The Great Debate League, or send us an email, thegreatdebateleague@gmail.com. Take care, everybody.